Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Talitha. I am Travis, and we are here to talk about Monday Night
Raw.
Rawlings.
Now, as you all know,
It's over.
Raw is over. Like, they aren't going to play it again, so if you want to watch it, you have to have Netflix. That's the only thing that you're going to have to do. So, on that note, if you have Netflix and you want to watch all the action and you don't want to know anything, don't watch this. Because we're going to give all the spoilers this time. Because they're not replaying it as a live thing for everybody in the United States. You know, because they did it with SmackDown because it's on, channels on SmackDown. It's not live when they replay it. But they play it on USA Network at the time it's allotted for on Fridays, right? So that's why we didn't. But anyways, so we're going to talk about what happened. And we're going to give you the results of every match. This is a spoiler alert, people. Spoiler alert. All right, Travis, take it away of what happened first on Raw.
Dun, 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 dun. So, I guess a guy came out to the ring. Couldn't really see him. But, I could hear him talking.
Ah.
So I assumed it was him. By the way, that's part of the joke. By the way, one of the things he complained about
is people don't see him.
That there's this thing going around where he's invisible, and I've played along with it for years, and I'm not doing it again.
So he cried a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was the victim. He even said the words.
So basically,
I am a victim.
John Cena had sand in his vagina.
Yeah, he got all sorts of scruffy vagina.
Nice. Oh well, there you go.
It's like he had intercourse on a beach.
Well, it can happen to a lot of people, I guess.
Without a towel.
So, what else did he do or say?
He basically just called himself a victim. He told everybody that they've been basically living off of him and mooching off of him for years. Even with his merchandise, like, people just wear his merchandise, but he lives it. You know, the hustle, loyalty, and respect. They use it as a catchphrase, but to him, it's his life.
Ah, I see.
And, he's had it with people. He's basically getting a divorce from the wrestling fan who didn't even like him till he started winning anyways. And then he kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And now he's one of the biggest winners of all time. And he's just done with these people. He's not a heel, and he's not a babyface.
Oh, he's
a human.
He's just pretending that he exists.
He's a human being.
Well, that's good of him, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, that lasted pretty damn near a half hour, if not longer. And then Cody comes out.
How horrible for everybody.
Cody comes out.
You can't fast forward through it because it's live. You're like, God damn it!
And then Cody comes out and talks about how great he is.
Right.
And how much better he is than John Cena. Because, John Cena wants somebody that acts like him, looks like him, so he could pass the torch along to him. And he finally found somebody like that. And he was looking forward to having this feud with John Cena and going week after week on the mic with him and just, because he's a dying breed type thing.
Oh.
And, but instead he gets this guy, this watered down version of what John Cena could have been. And so Cody wasn't impressed, and then Cody said something, I can't remember what it was, and then just left.
He said, enough. And it's certainly not kid. It's WWE champion. Let me ask you, who the hell are you? Where's the guy on this shirt? Right here. I don't know what you did. I was excited at the prospect of going week to week, face to face with John Cena, and instead I got this. Well, this better not show up at WrestleMania, because if it does, I run it over, I run it out, because I already took its best shot, and it wasn't enough, I retire it early. So, go find John Cena, because I want to wrestle him at WrestleMania 41, not this whiny bitch. Quote unquote, Cody Rhodes.
And then he left.
And then Michael Cole got really upset. He went off on John Cena. He's loved him forever. He's given him his whole, life of everything he's done. And Cole says that Cena was acting like an irrational prick. Which is interesting.
Corey Graves was there today.
Oh, wow.
It was Michael Cole and Corey Graves.
He decided to do his job, huh?
Yeah, it was, McAfee obviously isn't going to travel. He's got shit to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
So,
Not McAfee.
right.
Anyways, I'll say hi to people in the chat real quick. Sophie, Ravi, Picola, Rebecca. Thanks for hanging out. I know most of you have already seen this, that's why we're going to be giving spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, and you have Netflix, and you're going to watch it later, because maybe you were at work today, then more power to you to not watch us. But we're actually going to tell the whole thing, because we don't care this time, because it doesn't replay. It's not on a network station or anything like that as well. So there you go. Ravi had said, big up. Sophie had said, John Cena broke up with the fans. And Ravi had said, I saw the Finn match wasn't too shabby. Nope, I dropped Cena since 05. Sophie said, John Cena didn't mention The Rock one time in the promo. Piccolo says, all you dragging, using abusive fans can kick rocks. What Cena was saying. Mm-hmm. Sophie says there were still fans that cheered, let's go. And
oh, yeah, they were cheering for a while.
Yeah.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks. And it was loud. It was deafening.
Yeah. Rebecca said, didn't Raw already air? If you haven't watched it, I understand. Hey, yo, buds of mine. Hey, yo, Rebecca. Yes, it has. It is not going to re-air. It's only on Netflix and Netflix only. I can only imagine that they really got some shitty views. But, hey, whatever floats their boats and they do their stupid shit. Businesses do dumb things sometimes and learn lessons. Piccolo says he took a page from Punk Pipe Bomb, but weak. Sophie says Raw was on early. Some watch-along channels were on. Money in the Bank is rumored for LA and Survivor Series is rumored for California. Oh, isn't that... Oh, are you saying that Money in the Bank's rumored for Louisiana? Are you saying LA for Louisiana? Because LA and California are basically the same place. Piccolo says, make a wish, write a bitch. And Ravi says, hello, some strong fighting words. Cole crying, always a hoot. Bill said, Michael Cole crying. Sophie said Cena brought up wrestling terms during that promo like heel face. And Sophie said Jay was surprised Pat wasn't there. Rhea did that. Want HBK for the Mania 20 main event by signing a contract. And then Ravi says, I watched it earlier when it was live about 7 p.m. UK. Yeah, Travis watched it earlier. He didn't have to do stuff today. So he was home. So he did watch it. But I didn't. And I don't care. I read about it. I'm fine. Anyways, after the whole John Cena, Cody Rhodes crap, they did make a blurb about Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin will be appearing at WWE World during WrestleMania 41 weekend, if anybody wants to know. The first match of the day was Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser, and that was a no-holds-barred match. So there was a lot of, fighting, clotheslines, and haymakers,
Canadian
and
destroyers,
and stuff, running hurricane ranas and steel chairs. He did a somersault. He just bounced around a lot and did a lot of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And Kaiser tries to do some stuff and throwing him into the ring, old Penta, and goes for a wraparound, but
Kaiser kept telling him he needs to feel fear.
He needs to feel the fear.
You feel it? Say you feel the fear.
That match, I guess, lasted quite a long time. Penta did a whole bunch of stuff, but at the end, the winner was Penta via pinfall. So there you go.
From a Canadian destroyer that they called the Mexican destroyer. Don't ask.
Then they had some stuff that happened in the back, of course, with all the drama that's happening in a lot of groups. You have to have that. So it was the Judgment Day group, Liv Morgan and Raquel. They wished Finn good luck on his Intercontinental Championship match. His incontinence, yes. And then Finn had to rub it in Liv's face that Jade Cargill will be another stop on the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. And by this time next week, Finn and Raquel will be bringing both IC titles to the Judgment Day. So Finn's thinking he's going to win it, and also he thinks Raquel is going to win it.
Yes.
And then he thanks Dominik for getting him the match, thinking, oh, this is great, dude, and everything. And then Dominik starts talking about it, and he's like, yeah, well, I've been talking to some people, and he's like, I got some ideas because, JD McDough is gone and he's all broken. We don't know when he's going to be back. He's been talking to people to be a part of the Judgment Day without talking to anybody else. He's just flapping his lips, all that stuff and everything, yakking at people. And he thinks Penta is going to be the guy. So he thinks Penta should be the guy that comes into their group. And Finn is like, what the motherfucking fuck? There is no way that we're going to have this dweeb in our group. Like, absolutely not. He hops around like a weirdo. He wears a sock on his face. Just no. Absolutely no. And so he wasn't happy about Dom doing it behind his back and having conversations with all these people, probably trying to promise him things, but nothing's going to happen. And then he lands on Penta of all people, who just declared, I guess, at some point, he's going to come after Finn's Intercontinental Championship. So he wants the Incontinence as well. Okay. And Finn called Dominik a snake and walks away. Wow, I guess Finn is mad at Dominik, and we're soon to have a breakup there or something because JD McDowell's done. So they're going to make their group as dumb as possible and take Finn out of it because they fought so hard to put him in and got rid of somebody who went to AEW, the geriatric guy.
Right.
And stuff that, that really worked out well for them. I'm so glad they made the decisions they made. You see how it happens in the long run and scheme of things? Sometimes your decisions are very smart. All right, the second match of the night was Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. It was a very short match. Very quick. Kai did a lot of stuff. Nile blocked all of her stuff. They did a whole bunch of German suplex releases and vertical suplexes and all kinds of crap. And Chad Gable and the other two dudes were out there with Nile. And of course, Kai gets distracted by Chad. And then Nile tries to get her with a modified orangutan slam for a 2 count. Wow. Then that's not working out. So Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee somehow, because they're part of helping Kai, I guess, they just come out of nowhere and attack the Creed brothers. They start running after Gable. So as Nile has probably been distracted by what's happening to her friends, Kai nails her with the pump kick, and Kai connects with the GTK to pick up the victory. So Dakota Kai won via pinfall for that. All right, and then Travis will talk about this one because after that, the Io Sky and Bianca Belair contract signing happened.
It was pretty non-eventful at first. So Io Sky's out there with Bianca or Esther, whatever you want to call her, and they just sign the contract. There's very little drama or whatnot.
Well, Io signs it, right?
Yeah. And then, as Bianca was getting ready to do stuff, Rhea Ripley's music hit.
Oh, man.
Rhea Ripley came down and got into it with the ladies. She wasn't very civil. And then she proceeded to sign the contract herself after she beat everybody up. And then stole the contract and left with it. And Postman Pierce chased her down, wanted his contract back. She's like, you can have it back, but put me in the match. And he's like, that's not how it works. She's like, that's signed. That's a legal document. And that was kind of the end of the segment. But so it looks like we're getting a triple threat. I mean, all 3 women have signed the stupid thing, so.
Right. So, I mean, the stuff you said later didn't happen until later, but but she just took the contract and walked away and it was done.
Yeah.
That was what she did. And then they had a Jey Uso promo. So, yeah, we all know how that went. Blah, 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 yeet, yeet, gross. Anyway, so we all know how that goes. Let's see. Janelle says, hi. Hey, Janelle. Sophie says, so you don't want to be full-time YouTube content creators? No, Sophie. Not particularly.
You mean like 24 hours a day type?
Like, no, full-time as in it's your job and you make a whole bunch of money so you don't have to do a regular job.
I just don't think so. I mean, we could, but...
It takes a lot of effort to do that. And in all reality, Sophie, we just kind of want to have fun. Not make it into a chore to do. Like, it's hard enough now just with some of the changes that have been happening with
Triple H.
With WWE and wrestling and things like that. It's hard to stay very upbeat when you can't really back a lot of the players in the game, and so you're kind of stuck in a spot where other people are very happy with what's going on and they're very excited about it and they think it's a great move and stuff like that.
Until they start complaining.
But then they complain later because something doesn't happen, and those are the things that we noticed prior of what was going to happen, and then it happened. And so it's hard to be very like, oh, yippee skippy, it's so amazing and all this stuff when it's kind of like, oh, it's this again. I mean, it like with the, what was it that I said? The one that was exactly the same shit, and I said, that's so dumb that it's the same storyline, just a different person. Yeah, Drew McIntyre
and
with Damian Priest. It's the same fucking shit he did with CM Punk, and it's annoying as fuck. Like, if you guys cannot come up with better storylines for somebody, then either let him come up with something that he thinks will work better, or fucking get rid of him.
Right.
Like, it is so bad that because that's all I'm seeing is it's the same goddamn thing. And it's like, how boring. And if you guys don't think it's boring, that's fine. I mean, if you like it and you are enjoying it, that's great. I mean, it comes with the territory of some people are just that kind of wrestling fan. But I'm going to tell you from my point of view, just my opinion, I find it boring as fuck. Like, it is so uninteresting. Because it is just the same shit over and over and over again that at some point you would think, this isn't working, maybe we should try something completely different. You know, and even if it's shit maybe they have tried in the past or done in the past. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, it better have been years and 10 to 20 years prior that they've never done for a long time because so-and-so was like, I got really upset about it. Well, why don't we make people upset again? You know, and stuff. But instead it's like, hey, last year we did this, now this year we're going to do this. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Anyways, that's just how I look at it. It's just weird to me. But, alright. So, let's see. Let's do the third match. So, of course, you know, Jay getting his blabbity blabs out there. He has a match. It's Jey Uso versus Austin Theory. Mm-hmm. And we know that even though Jay gets distracted and shit, it didn't last very long because, God forbid, that, you know, they make him look like a dumb shit where he has to actually work at the fucking job or anything with anybody. He's just so amazing. They just are like, well, we only have to let him do 2 moves and he wins. Yeah, and a fucking thing. Cool. And I get it, it's Austin Theory, but, you know, Austin Theory won a fucking title before Jey Uso ever did. A singles wrestler title. And he was always a single wrestler. So, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So, that can go fuck off.
I don't like to see single wrestlers lose to tag team wrestlers.
It's just a weird thing. Anyway, so we all know that Jey Uso won that. Then they had, I guess, a Braun Breaker video package. I'm sure he barked at people and, come right after my shit. Ha 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 ha. You'll never get it. Because he's so good. Anyways, let's see. Rebecca said, who you got, Travis? Sophie had said, I miss D this after date. Robbie said, a brace like Stone Cold really shown up at Mania, right? Mm-hmm. Sophie says the crowd was hot all day for Raw.
It was a good crowd. I like the foreign crowds. They do
good jobs and stuff. They do make it interesting and exciting and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But it doesn't change what's happening in the ring. Like the outside, oh yeah, the excitement's there and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the stories you're seeing in the ring and the laziness, as Robbie just said, lazy booking, the laziness that's happening, which is creepy, but whatever. Anyways, Robbie said Finn got batted up. Yeah, that's very true. People's like, preach. And Sophie says, I could see WWE do international tours every few months. And Chris says, hey guys, hey Chris, good to see you tonight for a second. Robbie says, are you feeling the build for Mania? No.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, there's no excitement for this Mania.
Like, it's weird. It's so lackluster and just falls flat every time they try something. It honestly feels
like it's just going to be another pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There's no match on there that's like,
oh my god, that's going to be like crazy.
Yeah. They did it.
Yeah.
They finally did the Rock and Roman, you know?
Chris says John Cena feeling vindicated in his promos if the real fans give a fuck about his promo. Right. Robbie says crowds in Europe, UK get involved. They do, Robbie. And it's great. I'm glad that they do. It's amazing. And I am saddened by the fact that USA fans don't really do that kind of stuff. But you know, in all reality, it's not surprising. It's just not something that, you know... I mean, you do it. The only way you'll ever see those kind of crowds is at a college football game.
Yeah, you gotta
go to a fucking high school or college football game, and that shit will be off the charts. Crazy. Anyways, Picola says Cena's like part-time Lesnar, so it really doesn't how he ends his career. I mean, it's true, right? I mean, it just doesn't. Rebecca's like, who is the dog, Travis?
His name is Wellington.
Were you talking about Wellington?
Old Wellington.
It's funny. All right, and then Adam Pearce caught up to Rhea and told her that she was acting like a child. Needs to give him the WrestleMania contract back. And that's when she got into a big backstage brawl with Beller and Io Sky, so... And whatever else she said to him.
Well, that was after.
Yeah.
After she gave up the briefcase. She was attacked.
So the fourth match was Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus American Made, which we saw that was coming earlier, right? Because they attacked the Creed brothers earlier. They all ran off, blah, 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 blah. So I'm sure that was just like ecstatically exciting. Yes. Travis, could you tell us all about it?
The Creeds?
The Creed and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee match.
So...
Doesn't look like it was very long.
The match was but all of a sudden that mystery luchador showed up.
Oh.
And whooped ass. And then was chased off by security.
Oh.
But we don't know who it is.
Really?
Yeah, Michael Cole seems to think it's Chad Gable, but like me and Corey Graves, we don't agree because we've seen him with Corey Graves. Like, we seen it last week. We saw, not Corey Graves, we saw Chad Gable, and then we saw the masked Marauder over there getting carried out by security. So it can't be Chad Gable.
Right. Well, the people that wrote some of this stuff think it's still Chad. They think it's Gable. They think he's doing it.
Yeah, but we know better.
Yeah. But anyways, on that match, all that stuff that happened, the winner was still Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
Oh, yeah,
they still won it. So that's what happened there. And then they had a Seth Rollins promo, which I'm sure he came out and yacked a lot
they
about
sang
the place
and sang.
Just everything he's talking about Brussels and how excited he is to be there. He is very excited about the main event of the Intercontinental Championship. But he's going to be there on Friday, I guess.
Nice.
Then they talked a little bit about some things that probably popped up in other messages. Next week on Raw, Lyra Valkyria will put her Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line against Raquel Rodriguez. CM Punk will be in the house. Jey Uso and a TBD collides with A-Town Down Under.
To be announced.
Yeah, to be determined. So, Jay and a friend, whoever he finds out in the woods, plus Cody Rhodes and John Cena will once again be under one roof. So, we'll have to hear from them yak again. So, that's their quote-unquote build-up to WrestleMania, is literally talking at each other, which is disgusting and weird. I guess then Kathy Kelly had some interview with AJ Styles, of all people. Wow.
For Applejack for Jalopy.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't like Logan Paul. He had a lot to say about him in the recap.
A lot of jealousy there.
Ooh.
I mean, if you think about it, AJ had to dedicate his life as a low mid-card guy for 2 decades.
Yeah.
At another organization. Finally come to WWE. They throw a title at him for a second. He is very underwhelming as champion. And he's just an A-, B+ guy.
Right.
I like AJ. I have no problem with him. He's just not him, you know?
Yeah.
And
he's kind of at the end of his, like,
even in his prime,
relevant
in his prime, he wasn't in WWE, you know what I mean? He wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but he may not have been, but when he came to WWE, they kind of pushed him like he was this big guy, and he did it for a while, and there was a few years where he was, like, on top, and he was the guy, and he was the thing, and, I mean, everybody just, this and everything, and now it just kind of falls flat, and it's lackluster, and so he's kind of at the end of, and you got to remember, guys, there are a couple of these wrestlers that have literally said that they were only going to wrestle for so long, and they were done. AJ Styles is one of them, by the way. And the other one was Big E. Big E literally came out and said he had mentioned it not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times. He mentioned it in almost every interview about where his career was going and what he was going to do. And he's like, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life.
Right. Anyway. Not
like as a wrestler. He's like, I plan to retire as a wrestler by the time I'm 35.
Right.
And unfortunately he did, just not in the way he wanted to.
Anyways, I can see his jealousy because Logan comes around. He's a megastar.
Yeah.
He's a better wrestler already.
Yeah.
He does it not even like where you say, oh, Brock's a part-timer. Well, Logan's even less of a part-timer. Mm-hmm. But he's not, and I'm not comparing him to Brock because they're a different style, but he's a better wrestler of AJ's style of wrestling, that flipping and flying, high flying stuff, than AJ is. And that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That cannot feel good.
Yeah.
You know, and there's got to be a jealousy all over the roster because he is a YouTuber that does occasional boxing matches that are, you know, whether they're real or not, we don't know. And then he does wrestling on the side, and he's better than 90% of anybody on the roster.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
For 90%
and AJ
of the
Styles
roster.
says he doesn't belong on the roster.
Yeah, he tries to say he doesn't belong, but he's better than him.
So during all that, like, he actually gets interrupted in his talking. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux join the conversation, and Kross wants to offer a different perspective. That maybe AJ is mad at himself for the fact that Logan made it to WWE quicker than he did.
There you go.
AJ has no time for Karrion's mind games, and he walks away. Anyways, and if you're a big person who likes to watch Raw recap podcasts with Big E or whatever, Rhea Ripley's going to be a special guest on it. The fifth match of the night was, of course, the main event, which was Braun Breaker, the champion of the Intercontinental Championship, versus Finn Balor.
Right.
Did you watch it?
I did. I watched that match.
What happened to Finn? Did he get broken?
Finn was doing very well. Braun also was doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
It came down to the last bit, but the Judgment Day showed up.
Oh.
And so we knew that Braun was going to lose the title. Like, it was just a foreseen event.
Right.
Finn went up top. I'm pretty sure to do a coup de grace, but to do something off the top.
Mm-hmm.
And Dom jumped up on the ropes and got Braun's distracted.
Oh.
But Finn was standing in the corner and he fell.
Ooh, how did he fall? Like somebody pushed him, or?
No, the ropes shook.
Oh.
Probably more from Braun than Dom.
But he's going to blame it on Dom.
Right. And
because if he wasn't out there, it wouldn't happen.
He came straight down on his crotchal region.
Oh, no. So he's going to have babies.
Yeah, he ruined his baby maker.
That's sad.
And that cost him the match. Like, that was it. That's what kind of cost him.
Oh.
So we don't know who would have won if it would have just stayed clean. I would assume Braun would have still won, but who knows? And but we did not get the new champion that we were expecting for the Judgment Day, and it looks like the Judgment Day might not be on the same page. They might not even be reading the same book at this point.
I don't think so either. Even though they did all gang up on Breaker, it looks like they grabbed, and then Dominik grabbed the Intercontinental Championship. But then Penta storms into the ring and with 2 super kicks, and
he cleaned house.
Get that, and then Breaker speared Carlito, and Penta hands the IC title back to Breaker, and then they have a standoff, staring at each other in the eye. Although Breaker was more like, "I'm staring at you in the eye," and he's like, "I'm staring at you in the eye."
They weren't that big of a difference, but yeah,
totally. Anyways, it was the dog versus Sockface. That's what's going to be happening next. So, so the winner of that main event was still the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, via pinfall. So that's what happened there. All that fun jazz. All right, everybody. Sorry that we're going to be leaving, but, you know, that's just how it is. Word said, where's Raw now? Raw, if you have Netflix...
You can watch it.
You can watch it again, but they are not going to play it as another event for your time tonight because it is not on a network station. Where SmackDown is technically on a network station of USA Network in the States, so they have to replay it at the designated time that they would normally have it. But anyways, so sorry if you didn't want spoilers, but I figured most people probably already had seen it or looked up shit because they weren't able to really watch it. I didn't. Work. Travis had some time off. He was doing that, so he was able to, and all that fun stuff. Picole's like, lots of love. Robbie's like, don't leave. What the fuck? Why can't we leave?
We're going to be back on Wednesday. And we'll be here for 2 hours on Wednesday.
Why? What is it you want to talk about so bad? Words is like, bro. Yeah, I know, Words. It really sucks for people. But, and that's what really sucks is because if people don't have Netflix, you will never watch it unless you watch recaps or little blurbs of it online. So if you don't have Netflix, you want to see maybe some of the highlights, I would suggest going to YouTube and looking up those people that do that type of content. We are not one of those, unfortunately. Picola says, thanks everyone for stopping by. Come and watch AEW live and in living color on Wednesday where the wrestlers try hard.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're glad a lot of you showed up. We really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you for taking even the time that you do to stop by and say hello. We'll be back again on Wednesday. We'll be here for the whole time on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. You guys have a great, happy St. Patrick's Day. Travis forgot to put our green stuff on. He said he was going to. I told him to set it out, and he forgot. Anyways, happy St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully everybody is staying safe. No pinches for anybody, and you're drinking, but it's a Monday, so, have a safe one, guys.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.